Hello everybody, it's Katrina from the Alluring Bead Boutique, and today we are going to talk about tubular herringbone. I showed you guys an example in a previous video, and if you'll remember from my previous video where we did the flat herringbone, flat circular, I showed you these little examples of straight regular tubular herringbone. This was just a small piece made with only 4 beads on my ladder stitch. Then this one is using 11 O's, and I used I can't remember how many I used on my ladder. 1, 2, 3, 4. I used 8 beads on the ladder here. And then with these large beads, I used 6 beads on my ladder, and then this is an example of the twisted tubular. But what we're going to talk about today is just doing regular tubular herringbone. And like all other herringbone that we've seen so far, we need to start out with a base row of beads. And so we're going to do a ladder stitch for our base today, and I'm going to be using all 8O beads. I'm going to use these rose gold Tohos for my ladder stitch base beads. And to start, I'm going to go ahead and do a 2-bead ladder. So I've picked up 4 and carried them down here. I'm leaving myself just a little inch or 2 of tail thread to hold on to. And I'm going to take my needle and pass right back through the very first 2 beads I picked up. And so that when I pull, I have 2 sets of beads sitting side by side. My tail thread and working thread are exiting the same set of beads. So now I need to get into position. I need to come down through these second 2 beads I picked up. And I'm going to pull my thread through. Try not to pull both of your threads through. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pass through these 2 to the right one more time, just to secure my tail thread. And then I'm going to come right back down through those second 2 again from top to bottom, so I'm in position to start add my next beads. So now my tail thread and working thread are on the same side of the beadwork. Down here I'll call this the bottom. So now I'm ready to pick up my next 2 beads. So I'm going to pick up 2. I'm exiting from the bottom of these second 2 beads. So I'm going to go through those 2 beads again, but I'm going from top to bottom, so that when I pull, it positions those new two beads beside the previous 2. Then get in position, just pass up through those 2 new beads. Go again. So we're picking up 2. This time our working thread is exiting from the top. So we'll take our needle and we'll go through those 2 beads from bottom to top. Pull the beads till they sit in position, the new beads. Then take your needle and come down those 2 new beads and pull nice and snug, and we're ready to add 2 more. So we have 2 more sets to add, because I'm going to do my base 6 beads wide and 2 beads tall. So I've got 2 beads on my needle. My working thread is at the bottom now, so that lets me know I need to pass through from top to bottom on those previous beads, step up from bottom to top through my 2 new beads. And now I'm going to add my last 2, and this will be my 6th set. So I'm exiting from the top now. So once I pick up my 2 beads, I'm going to go through those beads again from the bottom to the top, pull everything back into position, and pull my beads out of shape a little bit there. And then I got to come down through my new 2 beads from top to bottom. And so now I have my 6 beads wide, 2 beads tall base row of ladder stitch. And so now we need to make a tube out of these beads. And if you'll note here that both of my threads are exiting to the bottom again. So I need to connect these 2 beads that I just added to the very first 2 beads. So I'm coming out of the bottom here. I'm going to take my needle and I'm going to go up from bottom to top through these very first 2 beads over here. And when I pull, my beads are going to come around into a little U shape. I did that kind of backwards, but we'll just do it this way. So now I've got these two beads sort of sitting beside each other. And if you'll see, I have a thread bridge here at the bottom of those two sets of beads. So now I need to put one at the top. So I'm exiting from the top of my very first set of beads. I'm going to go down from top to bottom through my very last set of beads again. Pull my thread bridge into position. So now I have a thread bridge at the top and the bottom. I'm going to go right back up through those very first two beads one more time. So now my working thread and tail thread are all the way back around, and they're exiting that very first set of beads. And here's my little tubular shape that I created with my base beads. And I'm sorry if you guys are getting a little bit of glare. Let me see if I can shift my light just a little to relieve some of the glare. And so now we're ready to do some herringbone. So I thought it would be easier for me to show you using 3 colors because I have 6 sets of beads. That means I'm going to have 3 herringbone stitches per row. So I'm exiting from the top of my first beads. I'm going to pick up 2 of my first color, and I'm going to pass down 1. So pick up 2, pass down the top bead of the very next set. Then we have to step up through the top bead of our third set to get into position. It's just like flat herringbone. We're just doing it in a round shape. And so there's my little inverted V shape like we talked about in the flat herringbone tutorial. We're stepped up, so we're ready for our next color. So I'll use these cute little turquoise luster beads. So I'm exiting the top of my third set of beads. I'm going to come down through the top bead only on my fourth set of beads in my circle. Pull my beads into position and step up through the top bead there on my fifth set of base beads. And now I can add my last color. So I'm going to use black. So I'm going to pick up 2. I'm exiting the top here of my fifth set. I'm going to come down through just the top bead on my sixth set of base beads right there. Pull my beads into position. You notice how I'm rolling my little circle around as I work. So now I need to step up. So we're exiting from this bead, this rose gold bead right here. So we're going to have to step up through that bead right beside it, which was on our previous row. But we also need to step up into this orange bead of our new row so that we're into position for our next row. So we're going to step up through 2, just like we did at the end of our flat herringbone rows. We have to step up through 2 when we come around to the end, so we're in position to start our new row. So we're back around to orange. So let's do that again. So we're going to pick up 2. We're coming out of that orange bead there. We're going to pass down through the next orange bead. Pull. Position your beads. Step up into the top bead of your previous row, which was our turquoise. And we're ready to do our next stitch of turquoise. So we're going to pick up 2. We're going to pass down 1. Going to turn our work a little bit. We're going to step up into this black bead from our previous row. And now we can add our column of black beads. So we're going to pick up 2 black. Pass down that 1 black bead. Let me get my tail thread out of the way. So now we need to step up. So we would go through that first orange bead, but also because we're back around to the end of the row, we've got to step up through the bead of the row we just added. So go up through both of those orange beads. So we step up 2. So there we have that row done. Let's do one more. So we're going to pick up our 2 orange beads. We're going to pass down just the top, the next bead, the top one. And we have to step up into that turquoise bead from our previous row. Now we can pick up our 2 turquoise. We're going to go down just 1 bead from our previous row. Shape our beadwork up if we need to. And we're going to step up through the black bead of our previous row. Now we can add our last set of beads, so we're going to pick up our 2 black. We're going to go down just the top bead of the previous row. Finesse our beads into place, but this time when we step up, you can see that we have to step up through the bead that's right next to the black one we're exiting, which is the orange bead of the previous row, plus we have to go up through our new bead we just added in this round, so we're stepping up 2. And this is what our beadwork is looking like. So I'm going to add just another row really quick. So I'm going to pick up my 2 orange and pass down 1. I'm going to step up 1 into my blue beads. I'm ready to pick up and add my 2 new blue beads. So I pick up 2, go down 1 of the previous row, step up 1 black of the previous row, pick up my last 2 beads for this round. So I'm picking up 2 black and I'm going down the 1 black of my previous row. And now I'm ready to step up again. So I need to step up through the orange bead of my previous row plus my new orange bead from this round. Step up 2. And there's, folks, is all there is to tubular herringbone. And so now I'm going to show you how you would end your work just like you started it. So we've got the 2 beads on our ladder stitch. So what we're going to do, instead of picking up 2, we're going to pick up 4. So that when we pass down through that top orange bead, we're creating the exact same mirror image here that's on the beginning end. So we'll step up through our next turquoise bead. We're going to pick up 4 of our rose gold beads, pass down through the next top bead here from our previous row, position our rose gold beads and step up on our black, and then pick up our last rose golds. We're still going to be picking up 4. We're going to pass down through 1 just like we normally would on our next black bead, but this time when we step up, we have to step up through the orange of our previous row. I'll get my needle in there. And we have to step up through both of those rose gold beads. So this time we'll be stepping up 3. And pull. So that now this is what we have. If you'll remember how we ladder stitched the opposite end beads on the previous video for the flat herringbone, it's the same technique here. We're going to be going through 2 beads at a time. We're exiting the top of row 1 right there, or column 1. So we're going to step down through the 2 gold beads we just added on the 6th column, because we're going to zigzag back and forth. So come down both of those there, and then go right back up the 2 gold beads you were exiting on column 1, and pull your work snug, but not too tight so that you misshape your beadwork. So now I can come over to my next column of orange beads. I'm going to come down through both of the gold beads at the top. I'm going to pass back up through the 2 gold beads on my first column, and then come right back down the gold beads on the second column. So all I'm doing in essence is creating thread bridges at the top and the bottom of each of my little sets of rose gold beads. So here I am at the bottom of these 2 gold beads on this column. I need to put my thread bridge here between the 2 gold beads on the next column, so I go up through those. Then I need to put a thread bridge at the top, so come back down through the previous ones. Then to get into position to work on your next set, go back up through the 2 right there on column 3. So I have a thread bridge here between columns 3 and 4, but I need one down here. So let's go down those 2 gold beads on column 4, up the 2 gold beads on column 3, and then to get into position, go back down those 2 gold beads on column 4. And that puts us into position to create our thread bridges here between column 4 and 5. So go up the gold beads on column 5, which is the first one here with the black beads. Come back down the 2 gold beads on column 4. And then get into position by going up the 2 gold beads on column 5 again. Make sure you don't snag your tail thread. So now I just need a thread bridge at the bottom of column 5 and column 6. So I'm going to come down the 2 gold beads on column 5. Then I'm going to go up the 2 gold beads on column 6. I'm going to come back down those 2 beads on column 5. And when I go up the first 2 beads on column 1, the first gold beads on column 1, look at that, my working thread and tail thread are exiting from the same column of beads. And there it is. That is how you do straight tubular herringbone. So let's talk about that for a moment. Now this is just a simple basic 3-color pattern that we did here. We can work patterns in this stitch just as we did in the flat stitch, just by simply changing the orientation of which color beads we pick up at a time. We've created this little section that looks just like our ladder base, so let's go ahead and use that. Let's talk about doing some twisting on this herringbone. All right, so we're going to go back to our orange beads here because that's the rows we're coming out of, the columns. So I'm going to pick up my 2 orange beads. I'm going to come down that top bead of my base, my new base of gold beads. And then I'm going to step up and through that top bead on the next column. I'm going to pick up my 2 turquoise beads. And I'm going to go down 1. Then I'm going to step up through the next gold bead here on the base. And now I can add my 2 black beads. So we are going to pick up 2, go down 1, the next bead on the base. And now we're back around, so we have to go up through the 1 bead on our base, but also up through the bead we just added in this round. So we're going to step up through the gold bead and the orange bead. To do the twist, you're going to do it's just exactly the same herringbone. The only thing that changes is how many beads we step down through and pass up through. So you're going to pick up your 2 new beads, and this time you're going to, instead of passing down 1, you're going to pass down 2 beads. So I'm going to come down through that orange bead and that top gold bead again. I'm going to set my beads so that they look like the little inverted V. And this time, instead of stepping up through that gold bead, I'm going to step up through that turquoise bead. So we're going to go down 2 and up 1 and pull. So now it's time to pick up the 2 turquoise beads. So once again, I'm going to go down 2 and up 1, just the black. So now I can add my last set of beads. So I'm picking up 2 black. I'm going to go down 2, which is black and gold. But now instead of going up 1, because I'm at the end of my row, I'm going to go up the 1, which is the first orange bead, but then I have to step up, so I'll go up through those 2. Now we're going to start again. We're going to pick up our 2 orange. We're going to go down 2, up 1. Pick up our 2 beads. We're going to go down 2, up 1. Pick up our 2 black beads, go down 2, but instead of going up through all 3 beads like you normally would on a step up, we're going to go up 2, like that. And you can already see how my little beads are starting to curve. So let's do one more round. Need to pick up my orange. We're going to go down 2, finagle my little beads, up 1. And my thread's getting really short, so that's going to be the last round I do. We're going to go pick up our 2 blue, turquoise, go down 2, up 1 on our black. Pick up our black beads. We're going to go down 2, and instead of going up 3, we're going to go up 2 at the end of our row. And that's how you do twisted tubular herringbone. And I can't really go much farther, guys, because my thread is really short. If you wanted to go on and make these equal numbers of rows, which they are, but I would be ready to add some gold beads here if I wanted to continue on with any kind of a pattern. But I've got a really short thread, and I was just not really doing a bracelet. I'm just showing you a technique. So anyhow, this is what we have. Down here we did regular tubular herringbone by going down 1, up 1 in our pattern. At the end of our rows, we had to step up through 2. Then we learned how to create the mirror image of our base row here at the other end of our beadwork. And then we decided to go on ahead, forge ahead, and show you the steps for twisted tubular herringbone, which in this case we put on our base row of our pattern color beads. And then the next round we came through and we went down, we picked up our beads, went down 2, up 1. Picked up our new beads, down 2, up 1. At the last column here, we picked up our 2 black ones. We went down 2, and then we had to step up through just 2 to make our twist. Alright guys, so that is it today for the tubular herringbone and the twisted tubular herringbone. I hope you like this video. I hope this helps you to come up with some great options in your jewelry design. Give me a thumbs up if you like it. You guys go ahead and check out all my videos and subscribe to my channel. I'm still working on getting my watch time hours in due to the change that YouTube made on their advertising qualifications. So if you can help me get my hours, I still need 672 hours, which you guys have already got me almost 500 hours. I needed 1,105 hours to start. So we're really getting it nipped out, and we've got till the 20th of February. So everyone that's helping, thank you so much. Anyone that can, I would really appreciate all the help I can get. You guys have a great day, and thanks for watching.